This is the big story for all of MAGA. It is on George Soros colluding with Hillary Clinton on the treason stuff. Brand new news right here dropping. Welcome to Doug in Exile with breaking news. Rep. Tim Burchett has requested a subpoena for George Soros and Leonard Bernardo. Leonard Bernardo was one of the guys, they were in contact with Debbie Wasserman Schultz on behalf of the Democrat Party with the Hillary Clinton campaign to invent the Russia hoax. This goes back as far as right now, 2016, could even go back to 2015. Welcome, Doug, into Exile.
I think that the problem that exists on my side right now is there's a lot of people who are saying, don't get us excited if you're not going to do this. And so you can tell, very fired up about this issue. It's very personal, and I want revenge. So you know what? If these guys keep pumping out this stuff and declassifying things and don't go anywhere, you think Epstein was bad, you're going to piss off a lot of people if they don't act. So I think that they're creating the impression that things will happen, and there better be some kind of follow-up, because people who dealt with this issue are a hell of a lot more vocal than they are on Epstein. And I think you're getting a lot of people's hopes up. So I don't know yet, but I feel like they have started to create the expectation that there will be something and people want blood.
Shout out to the Quad Club. I'm getting in the discipline of thanking you more often, because it shows what's in my heart is thankfulness. So let's get to the big Tim Burchett announcement right here on Doug in Exile. Hope you guys subscribe if you like this content. So this was posted on X. This is the actual document right here. Breaking: Rep. Tim Burchett just requested a subpoena for George Soros and Leonard Bernardo. This is huge. They were implicated in the Russia collusion hoax and must face accountability. Rep. James Comer needs to get this done ASAP. James Comer, get the investigation going. This is to Rep. James Comer. That's today's date. The House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. Chairman Comer, thank you for your continued leadership on the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. And by the way, this is why, guys, Senate majority and House majority, it is important for us to keep those majorities to run these kinds of investigations. If we lose 2026 and we screw around with like the Thomas Masseys of the world, if we don't get our people in there, we will go from our people running the agenda like James Comer to, we'll go to guys like Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, all those left-wing lunatics, and they're just going to spend 2 years impeaching Trump, okay? That's why this is important. This is our own government reform. I am reaching out regarding new information showing evidence of a conspiracy to sabotage President Trump's 2016 election and presidency. As you know, Director of National Intelligence, DNI, Tulsi Gabbard recently declassified evidence of a conspiracy by former President Obama, Hillary Clinton, who does not have a pardon, and the national security apparatus to manufacture and politicize intelligence to subvert President Trump and the will of the American people, including the evidence is a concerning email allegedly from Leonard Bernardo, an employee of Democratic donor George Soros's Open Society Foundation, plotting to discredit the incoming Trump administration. Considering the Open Society Foundation's continued influence on U.S. elections, I respectfully request that you invite Mr. Soros and Mr. Bernardo to testify in a public hearing before the committee. Should they refuse the invitation, I encourage you to subpoena powers. Use subpoena powers. Put them under oath. Americans deserve answers into the subversion of our institutions by malicious actors. Thank you for your intention on this important matters. This is, and here's some of the comments on the side here. This is massive. Let's get the ball rolling on this ASAP. So yeah, we have to get these people. Bring them in.
It clearly violated the law with that homebrew server that had been accessed by foreign agents. She compromised national intelligence information. She did things she would never have allowed anybody at the State Department to do under her. And that leaves me back to Schellenberger here. This is page 4 of his report. He says, he writes as follows: the Russian reports, again, that the Dutch spied on, that we got our hands on, also claimed, and listen to this. I mean, you probably already know this stuff, Glenn, but claimed that Attorney General Loretta Lynch, okay, this is back in 16, people, remember, Obama's president, Loretta Lynch is his attorney general. And her DOJ/FBI are investigating the Hillary Clinton email scandal. And also now we learn simultaneously working with the Hillary Clinton campaign to bury that scandal in favor of calling Trump a Russian agent. Okay, so the Russian reports also claimed that Attorney General Loretta Lynch had privately told a Clinton campaign official, and they name her Amanda Renteria, that she, Lynch, would make sure the FBI's server investigation did not, quote, go too far. So this is the sitting attorney general reassuring the group that's representing one of her targets, an FBI target of an investigation. Don't worry, I got this. We got to do something because it looks bad, but it's not going to go too far. Wink, wink.
Soros funded it, put him under oath if he doesn't agree to come in voluntarily. Here's an old shot of Hillary. This is a 1-minute clip of her on the Rachel Maddow show during the entire probe into Trump when the grand jury was unleashed on him. She's never been happier in her life. Look at her smile. She's glowing. This evil person is glowing, knowing this is all a lie to get Trump, overturn an election, overthrow the will of the American people.
All over the country right now, people are wondering what Hillary Rodham Clinton is thinking, watching things unfold in Georgia. She is the former Democratic presidential nominee, U.S. Senator from New York and Secretary of State. I should tell you, she has a new essay out.
Keep smiling, you psycho. You're going to jail.
I can't believe this. Yeah, this is not the circumstances in which I expected to be talking to you.
Nor me, Rachel. It's always good to talk to you, but honestly, I didn't think that it would be under these circumstances. Yet another set of indictments.
This is something, this is becoming like a skill set. Like in the news business, you say like, oh, I've covered Olympics or I've covered a campaign. Now it's, those of us who've covered 4 indictments. Do you feel satisfaction in that? You warned the country essentially that he was going to try to end democracy, but most of the country didn't believe you.
And lo and behold, this is the one that tried to end democracy. Hillary Clinton is sitting here and they're asking her, do you feel vindicated? That all of the secret operations that you performed got Trump indicted. They're bragging about this, and she should be completely ashamed.
Well, it's hard to believe. I don't feel any satisfaction. I feel great, just great, profound sadness.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at how sad, how profoundly sad. Does that look profoundly sad to you?
Hillary Clinton finally be investigated for election fraud.
I hope so. I don't know whether or not that'll happen, but I hope so.
Mr. President, why did you
fire the head of the bureau?
Yeah, I'm going to feel profoundly sad when you go to jail. Now, here is one source that we're going to get stuff from, allegedly, could come from Kamala Harris herself. We got to get her too. She was never pardoned. And now they're saying that these Democrat rats could be ratting each other out. This is Halpern has intelligence, says a source, that the Biden family could be throwing Kamala Harris under the bus and expose how dumb she is. And she could turn right around and start naming names with Biden, is my theory on this. Watch this.
Break a little news here. Okay. We talk all the time about, what did Kamala Harris know and when did she know it about his cognitive decline? I will tell you, and this has never been.
This is about the auto pen scandal. Listen to Mark Halperin. I've been quoting him for over a year. He's a very good source. And he's saying he has a source now. This is breaking first time today.
Reported barely at all. If the Biden people decide that Kamala Harris is coming after Joe Biden, wait till you hear the Palin-esque stories about how much they tried to help her be prepared to be vice president and be in a position to run, and how much they decided not happening. She's not up to this. And if the Biden people feel threatened, you will hear stories about Kamala Harris as vice president that will not make her look good. Okay, so there's a.
He's being very kind here. Won't make her look good. She's going to look like the slobbering, incapable imbecile that she is. And the Biden administration tried prepping her. They spent a ton of time trying to educate her, trying to make her presidential, and they got nothing because they had nothing to work with. She's a moron.
There's a closeness to the couples. It's not like they're at war currently, but I'm telling you, if Joe Biden feels threatened, if his people feel threatened by her, this is going to escalate in a big way. And she will have a hard time defending against the stories if that dam bursts. They were extraordinary in trying to help her do the job of vice president. They gave her every opportunity.
They gave her that border czar. Everything they gave her turned to caca. It was a disaster.
And they found in some instances that she had some issues. Okay, moving forward.
And that is reporting, not Spidey sense, right?
That's reporting, not Spidey sense. He's not giving you his opinion. He has actual contacts. Mark Halperin has more contacts than almost anyone in Washington, D.C. Actionable news. Wait, there's more. Sean Davis, wait a minute. The guy who gave Russia hoaxer Peter Strzok $1 million settlement through Department of Justice. That's through the Merrick Garland corrupt Department of Justice. Now works for Mark Elias. That's the Project Blue criminal Mark Elias that was giving hell to Kerry Lake. See how this is all connected, guys? This is just today. The Hillary Clinton DNC attorney, the Democrat National Committee attorney who paid for the Steele dossier and lied about it, gave Peter Strzok $1 million settlement. That's Molly Hemingway, the DOJ official who approved $2 million payout to disgraced Russia hoaxers identified as a left-wing activist, Brian Netter. This story is developing. The entire op is so incestuous, says J-Town. Molly Hemingway out at Hillsdale College, and she runs the Federalist. Great stuff. Where's Netter now? I can write the article giving the details, but I can't make you read it. So she has all those details in the article. He got his orders for sure. It's Andrew McCabe, too. Peter Strzok Page is the same guy who paid off Andrew McCabe. All the names are coming together, guys, in this one scandal. That's why the Democrat name is in the dirt. Here's a minute 20. I know you guys might have seen this video on other shows. I'm just going to go over this real quick. This is the Democrat brand is in the toilet and is not improving. And that's good news for MAGA.
Democrats at this point are historically divided. It is a complete and utter mess. It is messier than a hoarder's basement. What are we talking about here? The national early poll leader, 25% plus. Normally, that's where Democrats are. Biden was at 25% plus in 2020. Hillary Clinton was in 08 and 16. Gore was in 00 and 04. At this particular point, there is no one in the Democratic race for president who's polling at 25% plus. The water is quite warm. If you're a Democrat potentially thinking about running in 2028, jump right in. Because
that's why Kamala Harris is jumping in. Gavin Newsom jumping in. Pete Buttigieg has his yearly jump in and failure. This is good news. None of them are a clear winner to the voters.
Because at this point, there is no front runner.
What do you think? Is that because how people view the Democratic Party right now, is that contributing to this?
Yeah, I think that is in large part of what's going on, is one of the reasons why there is no front runner. Nobody wants to put anybody up at the top of their ballot list, is because at this particular point, the Democratic brand is in the basement. It is total and complete garbage in the mind of the American.
I think Hillary Clinton should run from jail. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year from jail.
Public. The Democratic Party's net favorable rating, record lows in all three. Wall Street Journal, 30 points underwater. CNN, 26 points underwater. Gallup, 26 points underwater. And that is being driven in large part by discontent within the Democratic base. The Democratic base wants something different. We'll ultimately end up seeing who they choose. It'll be quite the thing who ultimately gets the rose.
Someone like Fetterman is very different. He might still get some traction. Now, on the Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama story, other channels were always saying, oh, Vivek Ramaswamy, he's great. He's the man. He should be vice president. He ran against Trump. And I always said, I don't get it. I mean, I get that he's smart. He's very smart. Very well spoken. I never trusted him. I called him Vivek Ramaswamy. You guys all know that from over a year and a half ago. I was shredding this guy. And now listen to this. He's saying this story on Obama and Hillary is too complicated, implying it is time to move on. And I'm saying, no, I'm covering it on this channel over and over. It has to stay in the present. We have to get arrests out, especially to Hillary Clinton. But John Brennan, George Soros, and Vivek Ramaswamy, here he is. So many people told me, this is the guy. This is not the guy, guys.
Vivek Ramaswamy joins me now. You think the mainstream media is going to cover this one?
Well, of course they're not, Jesse. But here's the thing about these stories. I'm glad the truth is now coming out. Belatedly, though. And here's the problem with that. The story is just too confusing. If you think about ordinary Americans at home, thinking about whether they're going to put food on the dinner table, thinking about safety in their inner cities.
Okay, chat, you tell me, correct Vivek Ramaswamy, is this story too confusing? That Hillary's a criminal that lied with the FBI, George Soros to take out Trump, work with Obama to take out Trump. Is that too confusing for all of you? Let me know in the chat below. Are you dumb? Vivek Ramaswamy is implying that you, the people watching this show, are dumb. It's too complicated, he says. I don't think it's too complicated. I'm a barely literate comic book artist, and I have a pretty good grip on it.
Now they're hearing about this. This is now dating back years. This is in some ways the left's plan and the deep state's plan in some sense all along is this is all going to come out at some point in the future, they figure. But by the time it comes out, it's so confusing. People forget even who Christopher Steele even was.
Now, listen to what he's proposing there, and he's so wrong on this. He said the left actually knew back then that it would take a long time to come out. No, they thought it would never come out. They thought they covered everything up with the FBI, CIA. They thought they'd win another election that would allow them to cover it up for another 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, permanently, forever. So he's wrong. They didn't know that this would eventually come out. And they also didn't know back then that it was too complicated and wouldn't have legs in media if it did come out. He's just speculating, making it up on the spot. Listen to this guy. I think he's really, and again, I'm happy that he's a Republican. I'm happy that he's an Ohio governor candidate. Okay, fine. I hope you win your governor candidate. But man, on this thing, you're so wrong. This is so damaging to MAGA.
Even who Christopher Steele even was, let alone the cast of characters that followed. And in some ways, I think that's the travesty of the whole situation is that even when transparency and perhaps justice is served, it's long past the point where the public is able to make sense of it.
And this is, again, really dumb. I'm going to prove him wrong again. I'm sorry, Vivek, you're wrong. You want to come on the show? I'll talk to you about it, but you're wrong. I'll pump your Ohio governor campaign. I'll probably even send you money, okay? The reason why you're wrong about the story is old and too complicated. You know it's an even older and even more complicated story? Jeffrey Epstein. Is that story going away? Or is it not just blowing up all over media and everyone has no problem showing interest in it? So he's wrong about old stories going away. It is an old story, but it's true. And it's only all the details that we're getting about it, all of the Tulsi Gabbard documents she released are brand new. It's 2025. And even on Epstein, we haven't gotten one single new fact come out in 7 years, and the story's still huge. So this story can remain big and stay big. I don't get why you're trying to say move on. By the way, Trey Gowdy said something recent about this too. I don't get why these Democrat fake MAGA, Trey Gowdy, who I also have a lot of respect for, and Vivek are saying move on from this. You're crazy.
And I do think in some ways that's the calculated risk that a lot of these people took nearly a decade ago.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And
You're
Limbaugh,
exactly wrong. Jesse Waters, you're wrong too. You know who's right? You guys. Don't let these people talk you out of it, guys. You know what's going on. And I'm here to help inform you. And I am encouraged by all of your comments in the chat below. Shout out to the Quad Club. If you watch 4 videos a day all the way through, you're in the Quad Club. And I thank you for keeping the lights on around here. Subscribe. And in the meanwhile, like I said before, thank you. I don't deserve you. And are you ready to see them subpoena and go after George Soros? I'm Doug in Exile.